Hi, and welcome back to Coffee with Camp Sue. The Camp Sue kids. This was from last year, and I had a mug made. All the little kids that come here. Now, some of them are teenagers, and teenagers, they stop coming. But they always keep coming back, even when they're old. All of the old Camp Sue kids know. So let's start today. Oh, and one just flew right out. Interesting card. So today's card we're going to talk about, the first one, is self-confidence. So a lot of times when we're working on something, like for me it's these cards, and it takes a lot of confidence in yourself to actually follow through and do the work to bring a thought, an idea into fruition, which is what I did with my oracle cards. And it took a lot of confidence in myself to actually even come out and start doing these videos. And it's been a couple of years, and I'm not gonna sugarcoat it. It really is tough because a lot of times you're doing these videos and you're talking to yourself. You never know if anyone's even gonna hear your words, but I believe in this stuff so strongly. Everything, like the mind and creating a beautiful reality for yourself, that I just said, to heck with it. I am doing my thing. I'm going to be authentic in everything I do. And here we are. We're at this point in my life, and I have self-confidence. I'm living for myself, finally, for the first time in my whole life. I have way less anxiety when I focus more on my heart center, my heart space, and how can I just share that part of myself without being intrusive. So YouTube videos are great, or my Instagram, which you can follow at Camp Sue for You. I also have UROCKS, U_ROCKS, and that's where I do all my artistic stuff. And I love doing kindness rocks. Like, hey, here's an idea I had right here. Okay, so I found this rock. Okay, see the shape of it? Oh, it's got pollen all over it. Pollen's been terrible. It makes my eyes puffy. Anyway, so this rock, which is also a wishing stone rock, I realized it afterward. Well, listen to the leaves. It's like the wind. It's like they're clapping for us. Anyway, so I can't show you, but I'll show you like with the card. All right, so when you're reading, like say you're having like coffee, morning coffee, and don't want to hold your phone, you want to hold it up. So it's a phone rock. So I've been finding these rocks, and I swear to God, they got to be like, they're all very similar in shape. So it makes me think that these rocks were Stone Age tools, because they all seem to have similar shapes, these rocks. I'm all about shapes. So the other one that I found, like, I loved this rock, right? I'm not really even sure what it is. It does have some quartz in there, but I painted some, so I made this like a phone rest rock. So I got a couple of them outside here, so when we're out here having coffee or eating or whatever, you can rest it. But I just love this rock. I love the colors on it. I found this rock at the farm in the fields. Okay, enough about my rocks. So, where's your self-confidence? That's what this card's telling us. Let's see what the book has to say, because I'm in the process of looking for a literary agent and figuring out, do I need to go through and edit all of this before? I'm even starting to think, do I even go with a agent? Do I even go with a big publishing house? So it's a lot going on here. All right, let's take a cup of coffee. Eye opener. All right. So the self-confidence card, like in the shadow part, you're feeling like the life and its demands are a little bit too much. You feel like you're getting swept away. by the tide. It's a little bit overwhelming. I'm feeling that it's keeping up with the Joneses is like an old saying that I remember my mother saying, and I'm pretty old now too. That causes a lot of stress and pressure, and it makes it really hard for you to, makes it hard for anybody to sustain that, to keep that facade going. Trust in yourself. There needs to be more trust in you. Like you're looking outside of yourself too much for approval from other people. I see like a hamster wheel. It's like you're running on a hamster wheel. You're running, running, running. And it's sapping you dry, like as far as creating self-doubts, because you're putting your trust in other people, which you have no control over. You can only control yourself. So what's this card say? All right, what I wrote months ago. This is the summary for this card. Become conscious of your thoughts and negative self-talk. Oh man, don't we just do that? Like we just beat ourselves up. Acknowledge your feelings for being overwhelmed. It happens to everybody. Stop, take a deep breath, and remind yourself that life is cyclical. So there's ups, there's downs. It's going to come, it's going to go, like the ebb and flow of the tide. Tap into your higher consciousness and believe that you can. So I know it's all pie in the sky, and that sounds easier said than done. But you really can. It's like a mindset. It's like shifting that thought pattern. And sometimes when you get into a real heavy-duty thought pattern, it's hard to get out of that, you know? Because you get so stuck, you get so comfortable, you get so familiar. It's like I'm hearing a thing, you don't know what you don't know, you know? So meditate some. Let's see what we get for a card to go along with the self-confidence. And, you know, if you're feeling overwhelmed, what can we tell someone feeling overwhelmed? Oh, this is the Mother Mary card. I love this card. I experimented with a stencil when I painted this one. This was one of the first. So with Mother Mary, like I put empathy on here, but I think it's going to be gratitude. I'm still not quite sure the one-word description. But I'm seeing a rose with a beautiful rose, which I have one in my garden that kind of looks like this right now. And it's got a big, long stem. And it's got those thorns. So you have to be really, really careful who you share your information with. Not everyone is your friend. People get jealous, like they don't want to see you do better sometimes. And it's like that envy. It's like feeling like there's not enough. It's like that lack emotion feeling. Feel that you are enough, that you have it. Like use your imagination, your visualizations. If you believe in spiritual stuff at all, or Mother Mary, she's my favorite, so I totally do. So what I do, I'll just tell you what I do. So when I'm running into an issue, like where I'm feeling overwhelmed, self-doubt starts to set in, I take a step back. I go for a walk in the woods. Well, I do that every day, but on these walks, when I take a step back, I really start to do some introspection. And wouldn't that be interesting if the introspection card comes out, the fairy card, where I don't say, why is this happening to me? I ask, you know, what is it I'm supposed to learn? What's the lesson in this experience? Why is there a pattern I see? So I just really kind of step back, go up higher, and I look down and I really dig deep into that emotion, and I allow myself to feel the emotion. And sometimes in the woods it's way easier. to just breathe and feel settled. Because, like, even here in my own backyard with all these trees and the wind, it's just beautiful. It feels like fall. I even had to get a sweater today. It's just have some empathy for yourself. And you do that by experiencing your emotions, not bottling them down, not calling yourself names, having some respect for yourself so that others can respect you too. I'm gonna put one of these rocks on the cards. There's stuff flying out of the trees. It's like in the pool, these like little pine things. Oh God, they're annoying. All right. So let's see. What's a clarifier for the emotions, becoming overwhelmed, and how can whoever's listening to this, even if it's one person, if it's two, super. Wait, what is it? Well, this one feels good, so I'm going to pull it. Supreme consciousness. So when we looked at the reading in the book, like what I had written, it said to tap into your higher consciousness. So this card, when I created it, it was during the height of my really grooving in on painting all of these cards. I would go into this semi-trance. I would put on Buddha Bar radio from my Pandora, and I would just get into a zone. I would walk Norbert in the woods. I would do a lot of breathing. I come home. I sit in my chair. I face north. I do my visualizations, my breathing, and then poof, I would start to see images. And when I saw this image, the blue pearl, and I thought of like Hare Krishna, or Krishna, not Hari, they were the religious group or whatever. But Krishna, his whole thing was to find your blue pearl within you. And we all have that. It's just that you're going to have that confidence, and you're going to believe in yourself. You're going to trust yourself, just like the first few cards were saying here. Self-confidence, having trust in yourself, and empathy. Like, really allow yourself to feel those emotions and tap into that higher part of yourself that has all those answers. It's something I really highly recommend if you're ever feeling super duper overwhelmed. Totally talk to a professional. It does not mean you're crazy. It's quite the opposite, because you're open to talk to somebody that's willing to help you get through these big emotions that a lot of us never learned how to deal with. We just brought it up ourselves because we didn't have the greatest examples for how to process emotions. It was always stamp it down, don't let anyone see it, don't cry, don't do this, because it was more about making someone else feel uncomfortable when you were small. And back in my day, you're not supposed to be seen when you're a kid. So you just kind of ignored, and you're not treated like a real person. Which is going to this reminds me of a story. It's kind of sad. So a couple of the Camp Sioux kids that come here, their dad died recently. And he was sick, but still, I was surprised. I really expected them to pull through. Well, he died. So one day I was, because I know these kids love coming here. They love me, I love them, and I wanted to do something. So I took them out for an ice cream. I went and picked them up, and we went to the farm. We got an ice cream. Or did we go to the farm? I know we went to the playground. Anyway, we're driving around. That's all one of the little ones, the 7-year-old, wanted to do. And I was like, all right, I know kids talk when they drive around. So the 4-year-old, she's in the back seat of the car, And she leans forward, and like we're at a red light. So I look back, and she says, Camp Sue, do you know, no one even said sorry for your loss to me. They ignored me. They made me like I don't exist. She was so crushed. But it made me think. I didn't even say sorry for your loss to the little girl. I said, oh, I'm sorry, but not, I'm sorry for your loss, like I had said to her mom. So little kids are humans. They're people. They have emotions just like you and me. They're emotional, energetic beings of light. I just got a thing in my coffee. And we have to really consider their emotions. And how are we showing up for a kid? Are we just, pushing them aside? Are we really hearing them? Geez, I'm getting stuff in my coffee. Or are we just repeating a pattern that started with you? Your family, your mom, your dad, their moms, their dads, and it's just this whole generational thing. So you have families that are just toxic. And it's when you want to break out of that toxicity, it can be really challenging. It can even rock your self-confidence. But if you meditate, if you go to your higher consciousness, and you just connect with that energetic source, that light, and fill your heart, it's magical. And I don't mean to sound like, hoodoo voodoo, but it's really magical how love can transform anything. And it starts with you. You're going to transform and change yourself before you can have anything else change, because then you're going to have this new energetic reality that's going to attract stuff into your life. You're going to have better ideas, like coffee with Camp Sue. But I think what my friend Karen, one of my viewers, hi Karen, hi Carly, and Jaher, and Yvonne. I apologize if I forgot anybody, but you guys stand out. But what I just want to express is be mindful of your behaviors, your reactions. Nothing can be solved during an angry splat. If you feel angry, upset, say, you know what? I'm really not in a good place right now. We got to back off. Like, can we come back to this when I've calmed down? Because you're not going to get anywhere when you're fueled with anger. And just step back and go and breathe and just connect to your heart space and see, what is it I'm supposed to learn from this? What am I getting triggered? Doing these kinds of actions, like just becoming more aware, allows you to become more mindful. And it allows you to shift that energy around you so that now you're going to attract better stuff into your life. And I can't say what the better stuff is, because that's all dependent on you, your choices, your thoughts, because I believe thoughts create our reality. Thoughts are energy. Thoughts are what a thought made me create this. And now it's energetically manifested because I put the work in. So even with yourself, you need to put that work in for you. And take responsibility for what you can take responsibility for. And if somebody has wronged you or whatever, that's really on them. And you just need to forgive them and allow that to let go. I'm not saying bring them all back into your life. Oh, excuse me. Bring them all back into your life. It's, okay. Burped again. I guess I shouldn't be drinking coffee. So maybe I just stopped talking about that subject because I was going off on a rant. Oh, my goodness. Excuse me for all my little burps. All right. It's like too much air I'm sucking in here. I was getting excited. All right. So let's see here. We're going to pull a card. I'm going to pull another clarifier card to go along with those three. All right. So how do we end this coffee with Camp Sue? Where you're struggling, you're feeling overwhelmed, you're looking outside of yourself. Stop doing that. Take time to recharge. I love this card. It's the fairy, and her head is like the, what's that, dandelion seed head, and then it blows in the wind. So I really love this card. So this card's saying that to give yourself a break, cut yourself some slack, just unplug. Even unplug literally, it feels like, from the internet. Just take some time off. You know, there was a time when I was a kid, even in my 20s, 30s, well, 30s it was starting, but we didn't have all this. And we used our imaginations, and it was way less stressful. Yeah, you're still going to have the stress of relationships and stuff, because that's just a genetic kind of learned behavior. I don't even know if it's genetic, but it's a passed on behavior. But my recommendation is, for the rest of today, take some time for you, be mindful. Think of, what am I supposed to learn, and why do I keep having these what keeps repeating? Because you're going to know why, because you're just focusing your energy on that. And anything you focus your time, your emotions, your thoughts, energy on, you will manifest, you will create it, both good and bad. So, we're going to, I think, end it. Maybe just one final, right? Ha ha ha! Use your intuition, use your imagination. That will be a real good thing for you to do. All right, so this has gone extra long, longer than I had wanted to. So, namaste. And I hope that you all just have a great rest of your day.